going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at SuperHiveDC. Keep up with me when I post videos, turn notifications on. And again, just shout out to everyone who supports the channel. Thanks so much. Originally, I was going to make a video. I had a couple of ideas that I want to make videos for, which I probably still will get to in other videos, but something came up yesterday evening that I think I want to make, I want to touch on first since it's a hot topic right now. And that is a recent Joe Manganiello interview that he had on a YouTube channel called Drinks with Johnny. And very interesting comments that he made. First I want to give a shout out to Ambassador at The Dark Knight on Twitter. One of my followers. Thank you for giving me a heads up on this interview fairly quickly yesterday. He gave me a heads up before it started, excuse me, before all the, fandom started blowing up about it on Twitter. So thanks for the heads up. I did watch the full interview. Like I was saying, he made some interesting comments about Zack Snyder, and the DC universe. It was a very quick, short part at the very end of the interview. Up until then, the interview was, it was to talk about his new movie, Arch Enemy, that's coming out next month. So it was not a DC, focused interview, but at the end he did make some very interesting comments. Let's listen to his comments and then we'll talk about it.
Wrap up by asking, you were almost cast as Superman. Are you still a little pissed off that you didn't get that role?
I don't like to really dwell on stuff that didn't happen,
Well, that goes back to the death thing, right? Yeah, you got to have fun while you're
well, I mean, but it was also, if you really draw a line, that was how I met Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Through that process, Zack loved True Blood. Mm-hmm. And when I showed up on True Blood, he wanted to meet me. And so I couldn't do that movie, but Zack came back around and called me and said, I want you to meet Ben Affleck. And that's how I met Ben, and that's how I got cast as Deathstroke in Ben's Batman movie. Was basically through the Zack vouched for me.
Yeah.
And so of course that movie didn't happen, but Zack and I have all kinds of fun stuff coming up. So we've got some fun projects that are in the works. So
I love it.
It was something that we just, because of circumstances in my contract at True Blood, there was just no way that situation was going to happen. So there's nothing for me to get pissed off about, because it's
totally.
What can you do? You know what I mean? I was signed for 6 years on a TV show, and that was my job.
Yeah.
And but he never forgot, and so I have to really give him props for that, because as the years went on, we couldn't work together then, but he kept at it, and here we are, and now we've got some really, really cool, fun stuff on the way.
Is there anything you can tell us about what you got coming on the way with Zack? Oh, we'll just have to keep watching.
Okay, so now the thing that caught me off guard first was the whole, you were almost cast as Superman. Is that a joke? I'm legitimately asking if they were being sarcastic, because I don't know. I couldn't tell from the interview. If that's true, I had no idea about it. I had thought that, Zack Snyder knew from the beginning that he, from the get-go, that he wanted Henry Cavill. I don't know what the whole process was with that. But was somebody legitimate? I'm probably sound ignorant about this, but was he being serious about that? Was he legitimately almost cast as Superman? Now, it sounds like he was serious because in the interview he's like, well, that's how I met Zack, and talking about that's how he crossed paths with Zack Snyder, and then due to his contract with True Bloods, he was not able to do a project with Zack Snyder at the time, but that Zack kept in touch with him and was always, kind of touching base with him and was like, hey, I want you to talk with Ben Affleck, and one thing led to another, and that's how he ended up getting the role as Deathstroke. But again, as he says, that movie didn't happen. But Zack and I have all kinds of fun stuff coming up. We've got some fun projects that are in the works. Now, obviously, for DC fans and for those of us who desperately want to see the original plan for the Ben Affleck's Batman movie come to fruition, whether it be HBO Max or whatever, which looks like that's probably the most likely that would make that happen, not in theaters. But there have been tons of rumors, obviously, about a Batman Deathstroke, a Batman series, a movie, whatever, with Ben Affleck on HBO Max. We know that it's very likely that Joe Manganiello joined the additional photography shoots, not too long ago. We saw the photo that he posted, crediting Zack Snyder in his Deathstroke attire. He had the Deathstroke look going on. So, I have said since the Snyder Cut got announced, it opens the door for a lot of other stuff to be able to happen on HBO Max. Like, if the studio is afraid to continue, to take those risks and release these things theatrically, HBO Max is the way to go. I don't think they necessarily need to wait for feedback on Zack Snyder's Justice League to decide whether or not they're going to move forward with a Batman movie or series or whatever. I think they're just not going to make it publicly known that that's what they are wanting to do. But he said that they have some fun projects that are in the works. So that means that in some capacity, him and Zack Snyder are working on some projects. Now, Zack Snyder had also, when he posted the picture of Batman for the Us United campaign, right before the re-release of the teaser trailer, he had put with that photo, the caption was, "This is crazy, we need to talk." It didn't seem like that was anything to do with the re-release of the trailer. He did a breakdown for us for that, and of course we had some new shots in there and stuff like that, but it didn't seem like there was any news about the trailer besides the fact that it was, coming out again, and that there was going to be some new footage in there. Or not new footage, but footage that we hadn't seen yet, in pictures or images or, the teaser before. So because he put that with a Batman picture, I think a lot of us are kind of like, what does that mean? Of course, we always want to read into things a lot when Zack shares stuff. And, sometimes we see or think what we want to, but I thought it was interesting that he put that with the Batman picture that he shared. And, we saw Joe Manganiello wouldn't confirm that he was on additional photography shoots, but I think it's very likely that he had that whole look going on. In the interview, he actually talks about his hair because they bring it up in the interview. It's actually right before, I'll leave the link in the description if you want to see the whole interview. It's actually right before he starts talking about Zack Snyder. He kind of asks him about his hair, why is it blue, this and that, and he's saying, before I had the white mohawk, and I had a role that I had to have that look for. Obviously, we probably know what that was for, because on the Collider interview, he wouldn't confirm it, but he wouldn't deny it either. So we know he had that look for a while, but then he said soon he has a role where he's going to be bald, and so in the meantime, he just wants to be able to kind of take advantage of the time where he can do whatever he wants with his hair. I know a lot of people are thinking, does this mean Deathstroke's going to have blue hair? And, what is this for? Is it for a role? Whatever. But in the interview, it seems like he's just kind of having fun right now between roles when he has to have a very specific look. And so that, I don't think we don't need to really read too much into the blue hair. We know he had white hair and the goatee and everything recently, during the time of the additional photography. So, sorry, excuse me. Very interesting comments. This, maybe they're working on something else together. This is definitely not a confirmation that they're doing a Deathstroke thing or a Batman Deathstroke thing together. It's not a confirmation of that. But we know that they are working together and that he says all kinds of fun stuff. So that could mean more than one project. That could mean it can mean a lot of things. But of course, when asked if he could give any details about that, he's like, not going there. No, he's not going to touch that. But it does, I think, for DC fans, make people excited because we do want to see that. We can't wait to see him as Deathstroke in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And more, we want to see more. And since Batman or Ben Affleck is going to be in the Flash movie, I think that also opens up the opportunity for him to continue to do more, given that, if HBO Max is we want to just we're going to give you free reign to do what you want. Kind of like with Zack Snyder and his Justice League. No compromise. If they gave those similar terms like that to Ben Affleck and John Manganiello, I think that they would totally be on board. I don't see why they wouldn't. So, yeah. I mean, hopefully, I think if there are Batman plans in the work, Batman/Deathstroke, whatever, I think that it will be a while before we hear any announcement about that. I know there's going to continue to be rumors and stuff, but I think it'll be a while before there's an official thing that comes out about it. But check out that interview. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.